The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here Monday night OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics. Heads off into round number 1 of the chase here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. Gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be a wild and crazy one. I can assure you that. If you didn't think the 15 previous regular season races weren't some craziness, whether it be fuel strategy or people upside down beating and banking coming to the checkered flag, you haven't seen nothing yet when it all is on the line. How you doing? How you feeling? Once again, thanks for joining us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. I am Darkside Dave in the cave. My good buddy, the Postman Dan, right here in the booth with me once again. Dan, how you feeling here tonight?
Man, I'm excited for this chase to get underway here, Dave, and it's a beautiful day at the Talladega Super Speedway here in the OP Super Speedway Racing Series. I had an opportunity to talk to a couple of the drivers this past weekend, and after last week's event and the week before, there's some drivers that are just that they're gonna coin my own phrase here. They were gonna send it. So Alex Green being one of those guys I checked in with over the weekend, he's excited for getting out here and running some laps, and no more monkey on the back for a lot of these drivers trying to get into the chase. So we're going to see what happens. It's going to be a great evening, and we're going to have a great race today.
Yeah, that we are. I can assure you, 94 laps around this super speedway here in Talladega, Alabama. As you've seen earlier on the screen, the track temperature a little bit hot out there, around the 107-degree mark. So track may be a little bit slick as these drivers go ahead and clear the track and get ready for qualifying here in round number 1, the round of 13 here in the first round, obviously, of the chase of season number 5. Will we see Hunter Reynolds be able to, Dan, once again make his way through the field and pilot his machine all the way to the end and snatch another championship? Or, will we see him have a little bit of bad luck here in round 1? What do you think?
We haven't really spoke about Mr. Hunter Reynolds. He's in the throwback machine this week with the Reynolds wrap on that car. So I expect to see a lot of good things out of him today. He marches his way through the field quite often, and hopefully he can get up on the wheel of that machine and send her right on down there and get to the front of this field, hopefully late and not early. But I'm excited for the chase and see how this all turns out.
And speaking of the chase, we'll go ahead and throw up the point standings coming into tonight's race, round number 1 here in the chase for the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics. There you see the 63 of Logan Helton. Sitting on top of the point standings was the regular points season leader. That's why he's got those 10 extra bonus points and has a little bit of cushion on the field, as those bonus points seem to kind of not matter as much here as the chase has begun. As we watch the 7 of Josh Milam, he's on his up-to-speed lap, his first-time lap out there running the outside wall. Very familiar theme with a lot of these OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series drivers.
Yes, they tend to get that these NASCAR Super Speedway cars wound up on the top side and kind of see where the handling is on the car and get them tires nice and warm. Like you said, the track temperature is a little bit high today at 105 is what I'm showing on my screen. So it's going to be a little slick out there. Get them tires warmed up, even though it is warm on the track, and then they'll bring it down to that double yellow line and come in for their last second lap here and hopefully set a good time for all these guys and maybe try to take that top spot away from somebody. So we'll see what happens.
And as Josh Milam crosses the line, he's going to shake into the 8th position right now. Josh, one of those chase contenders. So he's looking to try to pilot that 7 machine up to the front of the field, try to put him himself in front of any of the danger. I think that may be the strategy that we see out of a lot of these chase drivers, because that's about your top 10, top 12 that have went out there and put down a qualifying lap already. Let's see what that 7 machine can do as he works his way through the try over here. Long way back around to the front stretch. Does he have enough to dethrone Rick Seabrands? Let's see. Milam goes all the way to 3rd. Not enough to knock Seabrands off. Let's see if we've got anybody else out there. Looks like Aspen Belvin, driver of that 84 machine. He's, I believe, on his first, maybe second time lap here. Yeah, looks like his second time lap, Dan.
Yep. Second time lap, looking pretty solid. He's right around that double yellow line. We're going to talk about that quite a bit today. That is the shortest way around the speedway, and usually the fastest line. We may see these cars be up just a little bit higher due to the track temperature being very, very high today, because grip is kind of minimal when the track temperature gets up pretty high. But hopefully there's some little bit more downforce in those machines Aspen Belvin clocks in the 12th position on his last qualifying lap there. So good little run from him, right middle of the pack as he enters pit lane. Who you got now, Dave? Who's on your radar there?
I'm going to take a look out there with that 24 of Will Weber as he's making his way down the backstretch into turn number 3 on his, I believe this is just his up-to-speed lap. Hasn't put in a timed lap just yet. And I think we just caught the back end of the qualifying run there. And a smart move making a green flag pit stop kind of practice move there. That's a pretty wise maneuver.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you any practice is good practice, you know. I try to do what these guys do and try to qualify up front myself in the iRacing sim, and it never seems to work out for me. So I just kind of bide my time and get as much practice laps as I can in. That's about all I use qualifying for. Will Weber goes around on the back straightaway.
Yeah, having a little fun looks like went wrong there for Will Weber. 24 going to be down and done for his qualifying session. Let's jump out there now with the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Mentioned him earlier in tonight's broadcast. Chasing a back-to-back championship here in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series. He did win last year's championship. Has made his way into the chase. Gonna have to watch out for him. I think all the drivers are gonna have to keep him on their radar here, Dan, because I mean, he's a champion, proven to be one. So you got to keep your eye on those guys that know how to navigate their way into that final race.
Yeah, a lot of these guys have their point strategy all figured out in their head. And Hunter is one of three drivers that had 2 wins this season. So he's solid. He's great on the wheel, and he's super, super good at this track. So see where he shakes out in qualifying here, but I expect to see a lot of great things out of him today.
And a big shout out to the 27 of Sean Stevens up there, 3rd on the speed charts on his time lapse. So great qualifying effort out of him. Nobody able to dethrone Jimmy Crow on the top of the speed charts right now with a quick time of 50.99. Nobody able to break down into that 50 range with Jimmy so far. Not even Logan Hilton as he's on his first time lap, 24th on the speed charts. Hunter Reynolds going to come across the line. Where can he go from that 22nd spot on his initial time lap? Let's see where he jumps to. How far? Where's he go? All the way to second. Not enough. Wow. Right there, 51 flat, man. Whew, that's close.
That's close, yeah. The speed times this week compared to the last time we were at Talladega are probably about a half a second slower. Last time we were at Talladega, we had some lower track temperatures, so definitely scrubbing some speed off in the corners due to some grip issues probably. So that's why we're seeing some 50.9s, some 51.0s. Your top 5 right now are all in the 50.9, 50.01 bracket. They're all up there, right there on that 51 second mark. So I'm just kind of bouncing around here, Dave. You got anybody you're really keeping your eye on during qualifying here?
And it looks like Logan Hilton's going to be the last driver to put down a qualifying lap. That's going to be 24 drivers on the scoring charts. And Logan going all the way to second, knocking Hunter Reynolds off the outside pole position. And Jimmy Reynolds looks like he's going to secure the pole for the first race here in the round of 13 in OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics Season number 5. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a brief commercial break. Step on down trackside for our national anthem, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Drivers ready to go here at Talladega Super Speedway tonight, already rolling off your starting grid. Your starting lineup looks a little something like this here tonight. The 16 of Jimmy Crow walking away with the pole position. The 63 of Logan Helton just to his outside. Row number 2, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, followed by the 4 of Rick Seabrands. Row number 3, Sean Stevens and Mark Mann. Row number 4, the 8 of Cody Ober, the 52 of Randall Cobb. Row number 5, the 7 of Josh Milam, and the 28 of Derek Conley.
Row number 6, the 35 of Doug Rice to his outside, the 53 of Dave Hunt. Row number 7 inside, Travis Elliott, the 51 machine, the 62 of Les Levy to his outside. Row number 8, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Row on his outside, still row 8 to 95 of James Meyer. Row number 9, the 82 of Dan Harrington, and the 84 of Aspen Belvin. Row number 10, the David Overstreet to his outside, the 91 of Ernie Williams.
Starting in the 21st position, the 21 of Daniel Holloway, just to his outside, the 15 of Alex Green. Inside row number 12, the 24 of Will Weber, just to his outside, the 77 of David Booth. David, one of those championship contenders, going to have a long way to go to make it up here today. Starting inside row number 13, the 39 of Jamie Jessup, just to his outside, the 47 of Andrew Schroeder. Robert Duvendak, another driver that's going to have to make his way up through the field, right back there in the 27th position. 28th, Dustin Barber, and Sean McCarrick will round out your starting lineup for tonight's race here at Talladega Super Speedway. It's round number 1 in the round of 13 here in the chase for the championship here in OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics. Dan, green flag gonna fly here in just a moment. Green flag in the air, and away we go. Drivers side by side down into turn number 1. No real advantage from either line. When will we see that 3 wide come into effect? I know it's going to happen here at Talladega. Dan, what's your number? When do you think it's going to happen? Drivers look like they're already getting single file here. Look for maybe some possible early pit stops as stage number 1 is going to come to an end on lap number 20.
I'm going to agree with your statement there. We're seeing a lot of single file inside lane here. I think the strategy for a lot of these guys is going to be early pit stops, fresh tires off those early pit stops. You know, I don't believe that there's bonus points and things like that this time for stage wins. So wherever you finish is where you finish, and it's going to put points in your pocket for the chase. And we're just going to go from there. So, but I'm definitely watching that 04 Mark Mann for this race. Been solid the last 3 or 4 weeks. And then, of course, Jimmy Crow there in the 16 machine right behind Rick Seabrans in the 4, and Logan Helton in the 63 machine leading the way into the backstretch.
Yeah, and wouldn't you know it, the kid finding a familiar spot on the racetrack, and that's at the front of the field. Leading that inside row has the 4 of Rick Seabrans, as you said, right there behind him. But his Alliance Motorsports teammate out there, the 04 of Mark Mann, trying to take the Batmobile to the front of the field's got the 52 of Randall Cobb just behind him. And, you know, it's going to be about lap 4 or 5 before these drivers are going to be able to come to pit road and make it to the end of stage number 1. I'm going to have to get some clarification on the way the bonus points play out here. I'm not sure they carry over for the chase contenders. I'm not sure how it's all equated. I'm not that good at math. I'm not that, we'll just stop right there as the drivers make their way down the backstretch. Still side by side, but you can tell a long, long train of cars down there on the inside lane.
Yeah, there's only about 6 or 7, 8, maybe 8 cars, about 7 on that top side being led by the 04 machine of Mark Mann. So I imagine here in a lap or 2, we're probably going to see some early pit stops and watch some of this strategy start to play out. That high line has not quite been worked in yet, Dave. It's still Logan Helton out front in that 63 machine down on that double yellow line.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably see that three wide that I was talking about earlier, a little bit closer to the lap. Let's call it lap 18. A little bit closer to the end of stage number 1. Then I think we may see some there in stage number 2. I absolutely believe we'll see it 2 or 3 times at least there in our final run to the end to lap 94. Here tonight in the official scheduled race distance, as we've got drivers breaking away down to pit road. Looks like 2 drivers kind of come to pit lane, that time by Travis Elliott and Aspen Belvin, both coming down.
Yeah, seeing some early strategy here from Travis and Aspen here. So we'll just have to see how that shakes out for them. Travis being from Vapid Yeet Racing, he's in the chase with his teammate Aspen Belvin. So I don't believe we saw Aspen last week, did we, Dave?
No, I believe Aspen, he had won the prior week. I believe he may have celebrated a little too much and unfortunately wasn't at the track. I'm not going to speculate why, but if my memory is correct, Aspen was not with us last weekend, the final race of the season. So good to see him back on track, and those teammates with some strategy here early, pitting together a small number that may come to haunt them later. Not quite sure how it's all going to play out. Usually you want a few cars, a handful of cars to come with you, but 2 is better than none.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or 1.
You are a sitting duck for this giant pack of cars here as they make their way down the backstretch into turn number 3. I'm just curious, Dave. If you were to pit yourself, you going early or you going late?
Uh-huh.
Math.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think myself, I would have to go early because you know 9 times out of 10 you're going to have a late stage caution, and then you're pretty much good on fuel at that point, for caution lap. So hey, that's my strategy, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, depends on where I'm at, how everything feels. If I'm comfortable with the drivers that are making that move to pit road, if I think I can woe up in time to stay with them and not get into anything, it's a stage. It's not like it. If it goes wrong, you can kind of get it back. So it's not as calculated right now, I don't believe, or at least from my standpoint, as we've got more drivers coming to pit road, a lot more drivers, actually, about 7 or 8 cars ducking off the track. That's going to put Rick Seabrans at the top of the charts. And, a lot of drivers that time to pit road.
Yeah, quite a few. I saw the 52 of Randall Cobb, 63 of Logan Helton gives up the race lead to the 4 of Rick Seabrans. as well as a couple other cars. So a little more team strategy here as we're seeing. So we might see some different stuff going on here for this chase.
And big moves as drivers still trying to make their way to the bottom. And looks like Doug Rice, Dave Hunt, Sean McCarrick, David Booth, Andrew Schroeder all on to pit road with Logan Helton and Randall Cobb last time. So we're seeing a mixed bag of strategy as Rick Seabrands breaks off to pit road. But his Alliance Motorsports teammate still stuck out in that outside lane. So Mark Mann not going to be coming to pit road anytime soon, it doesn't look like, as Derek Conley, another one of your chase contenders, starts to lead this field. He's got the 26 of Hunter Reynolds just behind him. Sean Stevens right there showing well in the third position right now, lined up on the inside.
Daniel Holloway had a big moment coming into pit road. He had that race car turned all the way sideways at the commitment line and just about put her in the grass on the entry to pit lane there. I don't know how he saved that race car, but all those guys are down and away off of pit road, and the field is coming through the trial with more cars coming to pit road. 26 of Hunter Reynolds, the 28 of Derek Conley, the 8 of Cody Ober, the 7 of Josh Milan, 27 of Sean Stevens, as well as a couple others, Dave.
Yeah, and that's going to leave the 04 of Mark Mann, Robert Duvendak, Les Levy, Jamie Jessup, Hunter, Jimmy Reynolds, James Mayer, and Dustin Barber all out on track. So 8 drivers yet to come to pit lane. Logan Helton leads Randall Cobb, Travis Elliott, and Doug Rice of the drivers that have already been on and off pit road. They're back scored in the 17th position. There you see them right now just coming through the tri-oval. They're about, right about 35 seconds or so behind these drivers right here at the front, yet to make their pit stop, and it looks like a few of them peeling off at the back. Mark Mann staying out there. David Overstreet looking for the lead on the outside. Looks like they're going to try a little bit of drafting here. Maybe try to stretch this thing. They may be able to do it.
It would be very, very close. The 17 of Jimmy Reynolds and the 6 of Dustin Barber, currently the 2 drivers on pit road. But I don't know if Mark Mann can make it out front. He might be able to now that 02 of David Overstreet jumping down in front of him there. He might be able to stretch it, David. It'd be close.
Yeah, and it looks like we may be seeing that strategy, because look back there at that 10 machine of Robert Duvendak, another chase contender right here at the front of the field. He's slowed up significantly and has backed that 4-car train up from the back end of Mark Mann and David Overstreet. So they've got to be in fuel-saving mode. And I tell you what, we've got it. I do believe we do have an onboard cam with Robert Duvendak. Let's see if he's blipping and playing with that throttle. He does seem to be a little bit light, only sitting around the 7,400 RPM. Usually that's up around the 8,500s, and there you see just in front, look at Mark Mann backing up to this pack, definitely in fuel-saving mode. So we've got some, there you see, big time off the gas. Listen to that, way out of the throttle.
Yeah, he's saving quite a bit of fuel, considering that car is almost under full power. I did a little bit of calculations first part of the week after our season end, and you can save about 1/8 of a lap per 5 laps that you can run. If you can run that car at about 75, 76, 7,700 RPM, you can save about 1/8 of a lap.
And now looks like Duvendak going to make a pass of Mark Mann. Mark Mann just kind of moving out of the way, I guess realizing the fuel situation and trying to get behind. There you go, slotting back down in now, 4th car back. As I believe that was Overstreet. Yes, it is up there, just has kind of set sail. Not sure what the strategy is on that. Maybe just, I'll run it as hard as I can, and maybe when it runs out, I still have enough time before they catch me. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like Duvendak and that group a little more calculated with their decision at this point in time here in stage number 1. And that's going to come to a close here just briefly in about 8 laps or so. 7 laps. I apologize. Math, once again, you know how that is.
You keep calling yourself out on it. We're going to start believing you one of these days.
Well, I mean, at least I know I'm wrong. That's actually recorded and in history now. Oh, my Lord. I just admit it to being wrong. I'm never... Okay, anyways. Yeah.
It's definitely a bold strategy for the O2 of David Overstreet there for about 2 laps. Let's just see how that works out for him. He's kind of looking for a spot here to roll with these guys. This 6-car train here coming through the tri-oval with Robert Duvendak leading the way of those pack of cars.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure. As I mentioned when we seen it, just not quite sure what was going on there, what the strategy was there. Absolutely no way of saving gas out there when you're by yourself. You're going to get eaten up if you do, so you might as well just go ahead and save the gas to begin with. Going to be a little bit tougher on that O2 now to save enough gas to make it all the way to the end of stage number 1. We have seen it happen before here in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series presented to you by 4X Graphics. We've seen drivers be able to stretch it, be able to back the throttle down just enough to be able to make it to the end of stage number 1 without pitting. We've seen it happen easily with a caution, but most of these drivers looks like one of them going to say, I've had enough. I'm coming to pit road. Jamie Jessup not willing to risk it just yet here tonight as Robert Duvendak, he starts to step away from the field as we see some heavy fuel-saving strategies going on right here. It looks like maybe one driver going out there and letting the field have a little bit of a draft and still be able to save some gas here. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask these drivers, especially if it works out, how this whole thing was done. Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that they like you, Dave, but this is iRacing, and they're probably not going to tell you.
Yeah. You're probably right.
Got a gap of about 7.5 seconds back from behind James Meyer, the 5th car in the lead pack here, back to the 8 of Cody Ober, and it is going down quickly. And it looks like there's about 7 or 8 cars, maybe 9 cars, 10 cars in there all the way back to Travis Elliott that are going to catch these guys pretty quickly. Looks like they're cutting down about half a second about every second. So this pack of 5 cars up front here, led by Robert Duvendak, is going to get caught here, Dave.
Yeah, it looks like they'll get caught with about, I believe they'll get caught with maybe 2 laps to go here before the end of the stage. But what they're going to be able to do, they're going to be able to stay out in front of this field possibly and maybe pull a little bit of blocking and, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. David Overstreet, Les Levy saying, not going to try it, not going to stay out, but your top 3 have stayed out on track, still 4 seconds in front of this Hornet's Nest. And Dan, I told you we were going to see that 3 wide somewhere around lap number 18. What are we on? Lap 18, 3 wide coming up on the outside. Jimmy Crow looks to be pushing, I believe. Who is that right there in front of Jimmy Crow? That's Ernie Williams behind him.
That's the 24.
That is Will Weber, ain't it? Absolutely.
I like that paint scheme from Will. That's a pretty sharp-looking white race car he's got. Logan Helton looking to the outside, maybe. Oh, contact.
Snaking.
Right there in the middle.
Big tough Hornet's Nest here, man. This is great battle for position behind the race leaders.
I'm kind of anxious to see what the kid has here on the top side with Will Weber and his master Jimmy Crow back there in the 16 pushing him. I'm used to seeing him on the bottom, Dave, so I just got to see what he's got up here on the top side.
Yeah, and as we watch this 3 wide battle begin to unfold, those top 3 drivers all coming to pit road. Markman, Robert Duvendak, James Mayer not able to make it to the end of stage number 1, so they're going to be behind the 8 ball here as it looks like Hunter Reynolds jumps to to lead that middle lane, as the third lane led by Logan Helton has kind of lost a little bit of ground here. We've got a 3-car breakaway in the middle. Aspen Belvin not being able to push Cody Ober hard enough down into turn number 1, and Hunter Reynolds gonna clear. Ken Connolly do it with him. Connolly now drops to the bottom. That's gonna leave Milam all alone. Back off of turn number 2, down the back stretch to close out stage number 1. Ober looking to the outside now.
Ober's going to lose that momentum here right quick because there is nobody there. John Stevens is not going to be able to get to him quick enough.
I don't know, Dan. It's a long way to go. Nope, now going to have to tuck back in line. Looks like that is gonna shape out to be a bad move. Ken Connolly move up there and snatch away the stage win. Coming to the line, no, looks like Hunter Reynolds going to win the stage number 1 here tonight. In the round of 13, round number 1 here in season number 5. It's a chase for the championship in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series. Dan, I told you 3 wide was going to happen. It happened. We already had some fuel strategy going on. I'm telling you, we're going to see some craziness here tonight. We're going to see it each and every Monday night. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters. We do appreciate each and every time you do join us. I know the driver of that 26, Hunter Reynolds, appreciates each and every time you come out and watch him take a stage win. Man, Aspen Belvin was close too. He was right there, Dan, right there in second there at the end of stage number 1. Derek Conley, Cody Ober, Sean Stevens, Alex Green, and Josh Milam round out your top 7. And those top 3 spots, top 4 spots actually, all Chase drivers.
Yeah, definitely a big confidence builder for all 4 of those guys. Josh Milam in the 7th position, barring pit stops or something crazy happening on pit road. Potentially the 6 out of the 10 top guys during this restart are going to be chase contenders. So once again, we see a little bit of the strategy paying off for a couple teammates here, and I just get a kick out of that 26 Reynolds Rat machine up there that just won that stage of Hunter Reynolds. That thing is cool, man. It gets me every time I look at it.
Yeah, you had mentioned it earlier. Excuse me. There in happy hour and in qualifying. Now putting it on screen right there, walking away with the win in stage number 1, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Looks like everybody's going to come down to pit road. Look for maybe Mark Mann and those drivers to stay out. We'll have to wait to see how everything unfolds, but we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. We'll be back with all your green flag action here from Talladega Super Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
North Carolina, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole from Dawsonville, Georgia, in the number 9 Coors Ford qualifying and Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. His second win of 1987.
backtrack side here at Talladega Super Speedway. Stage number 1 in the books. Man, getting the job done very early here in the opening round of the chase. Gonna walk away with the stage win. Hunter Reynolds wrapping it up. What you think about that? Wrapping it up with the I can't even. Oh, that was a cheap one. I didn't even. Yeah, it wasn't planned, ladies and gentlemen. I can assure you that. That's why it was so funny to me.
That one all season.
I really wish I could say I was. That's the most. That's the bad part. Yeah. Robert Duvendak gonna stay out here at the end of stage number 1. Not quite sure what the strategy on that one is. I believe everybody's gonna have to come to pit road or be very, very close here in stage number 2. We have seen drivers actually stretch it in stage number 2 and make it to the end. We'll have to see if Hunter Reynolds is able to do that. I think it's going to be a tall task for him. Your stage 1 winner going to line up just to his outside. The 28 of Derek Conley will line up inside row number 2. Josh Milam just to his outside. And then it's pretty much a long stacked up train of cars down there on the inside lane that have already come back to pit road to top off one more time, Dan, just to try to put as much fuel as they can in these fuel cells. Those drivers will not be looking to come to pit road here in stage number 2.
Yeah, so you at lap 24. So a lot of guys elected to pit on lap 22 right there at the start of the caution. Robert Duvendak is the only one that has about 2 laps behind those guys pitting on lap 18. So Duvie is going to probably be a little short on fuel here.
Yeah, it looks like his fuel tank is definitely going to be on the light side of things. However, he'll have control of this race when we go back. Green flag racing, long way back to the restart box. He's got the inside lane bunched up, ready to go. Back on the gas once again here at Talladega Super Speedway. Great start on the outside lane for Hunter Reynolds. Josh Milam right there with him. Dave Hunt right there as well. Logan Helton right there, third car. Outside lane still right there in the mix. The 24 of Will Weber. David Booth, where'd he come from, man? He shot out of a cannon from the back of the field. Has gained 14 positions from the start of tonight's race. So a big time move there for the 77. Whoa, Randall Cobb down onto the inside. Hard into the inside wall. Not going to bring the caution out, and caution does now fly. Sean McCarrick, Mark Mann involved. Oh my goodness, let's see what happened. Cody Ober into the outside wall up there. Drivers trying to check up. Randall Cobb still trying to check up. Oh my goodness, Rick Sebrands. We've got chase contenders involved in this one. This is rough. Sean McCarrick, Mark Mann, David Overstreet, Daniel Holloway. Oh my goodness.
I'm not really sure what happened, but the 53 of Dave Hunt looked like he had a little checkup or got loose or something. Maybe a little net code issue. This is iRacing after all. And the 52 of Cobb gave him a little bump. And then accordion effect on back. And he almost saved that car, Dave.
And it looked like the 52, almost hard into that inside wall. It looked like that's where he was heading. That's why I said it. No. Then hard impact. I'm not sure who that was right there that he made contact with. But, yeah, big one here in the early stages of stage number 2. Going to bring us under caution, and a lot of drivers, I believe, Dan, they're going to have to go ahead and pull out that fast repair after that one. And, the worst part is I think it's a lot of our chase contenders, or at least 3 or 4 of them, I do believe, looking at the list here. It looks like Mark Mann was involved. Rick Sebrands was involved. both of those drivers being chase contenders. Daniel Holloway, I believe Holloway, yes, Daniel Holloway, also one of those chase contenders coming across the screen as being involved with that as well. So there's 3 drivers right there in the chase already involved in an incident very early. And you got to be careful in super speedway racing, getting yourself behind the 8 ball in a must-win situation. A long way from that happening here. But yeah, tough break. The big one early here at Talladega.
Yeah, Aspen Belvin, another one that was involved in that. He's got some serious nose damage on the front of that car. He's missing the whole front bumper, front splitter. Maybe the radiator's in the front seat of that car. He is. I think he's currently sitting on pit road right now. Can you confirm that for me, Dave?
Let's see, Aspen, yes, sitting on pit road right now, still fixing that machine. Has been down there for a little over a minute, trying to make as much repairs as he can, get it back out there. It looks like a few of these drivers going to elect to stay on pit road, go down a lap, and then just wait for the end of stage number 2 to come to a conclusion and use that opportunity for a lucky dog or a wave around. But yeah, after the big one, a lot of drivers back there on pit road fixing their machines. Looks like we've still got 29 drivers in the race, though. All 29 that have started today's race are still in the race. Oh, and scratch that. Looks like Sean McCare's crew pushing his machine back behind the wall. He's going to be back there for just a brief moment. Looks like they're going under the hood, trying to get the thing fired up as we speak.
It seems I have lost all control of my video monitor here.
That's rather interesting.
I'll be on the horn with the tech truck here momentarily.
All right, field gonna get double file this time. Byfield will receive the 1 to go. Robert Duvendak gonna have control of the race once again here for the restart, hitting stage number 2. Hunter Reynolds gonna line up just to his outside. Derek Connolly, second car inside row. Josh Milam out there, second car outside row. And Logan Helton gonna round out your top 5 for this latest restart. And it looks like Sean McCarrick's crew does get his car back out there on track. So minimizing the damage here tonight. A lot of drivers, a lot of crews in damage control at this point in time. 4 different chase contenders involved in the big one early here at Talladega Superspeedway in the OP Racing Superspeedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics. Man, I tell you what, it's been a crazy race already. I wonder what the rest has got in store. Field makes their way back off of turn number 2 down the backstretch.
I am showing that we have all 29 cars still on the lead lap.
Yeah, I don't know how they were able to do it, but somehow those drivers were able to get to pit road and back out without losing a lap. There for a minute, it looked like a few of them were going a lap down, but able to beat the pace car out on the timing and scoring by just fractions, hundredths, thousandths of a second to be able to stay on the lead lap. So great job by a lot of the crews able to do that. But as we already said, Dan, unfortunate that they had to do that.
Yeah, anytime you're in a early accident or early calamity here in these things and have to click off that fast repair pretty quick, especially this late in the season, early part of the chase where consistency kind of starts right here as far as the chase goes. That's a tough break for 4, 5, 6 of our chase contenders here. So green flag's about to be in the air, and we'll see how this shakes out.
Chevy Silverado pace truck down and away. The 10 of Robert Duvendak has control of the field, making their way back to the restart box. A long way around this front stretch here at this 2.6 mile super speedway. Green flag gonna fly. Field back on the loud pedal. Away we go. Great jump on the inside by the 10 of Duvendak. He's got Connolly right there with him. Logan Hilton tucked in right there. Third car inside row. Tell you what, on this restart, let's go down there now on board with that 63 of Logan Hilton. Show you a little bit of sight and sounds. Oh, Connolly gonna jump to the outside lane already on this restart, and the kid closing up fast.
This is such a cool onboard because you really can't see anything. We alluded to this at the beginning of the season where, you know, if you're behind a guy and you are right on his bumper, you can't see anything that's going on in front of you. All you see is some nice graphics from a nice painter out there on the iRacing sim, and that's all you can see.
Yeah, and even getting rid of some of the graphics and things here on our broadcasting. There you see, you still don't see very much out of that rear view mirror up there. That the kid, a little bit of a moment there touching that yellow line. A little bit of a push from the 77 of David Booth had Hilton a little bit sideways there for a moment, but as I was saying, even with the little clear spot on the spoiler, you still just struggle to see here when you're packed up just like this here. Heck of a job. Big shout out to the crew on the 63 letting us put this onboard camera here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, that camera is mounted right on the front of Logan's helmet, so pretty cool shot from those guys. So well done by our tech crew, and like you said, Dave, thanks for their crew for letting us put that little GoPro camera on there, man. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure GoPro is something that you're gonna hear with Logan Hilton's name somewhere down the line in the future. Logan, a very, very talented iRacer here, not just in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, but across the spectrum in iRacing. So the kid making a big name for himself in just a short amount of time, and that just lets you know just how talented and just such a great kid, like really, and such a great talent that he is. So watch for him for the rest of this chase to try to make it up there and steal this championship in his second attempt. Last season, he, as a rookie, went out there and almost had a chance for that championship, just fell short in the final race. So the kid looking to go out there and spoil Hunter Reynolds' back-to-back attempt as the field side by side here, coming to the close of stage number 1. We've got 7 laps remaining. Who's gonna take that top spot by the end of lap 40? We'll have to wait and see. Dan, who you got? Who's your pick?
I'm not saying anything.
You finally learned. It took you 15 regular season races, but you have finally learned. Congratulations, you are now an official broadcasting crew member. When you finally learn not to stick your foot in your mouth, I mean, besides, you know, the way I do all the time, yeah, that means you actually got somewhere.
Well, I appreciate that, Dave. It's been a great 15, 16 races so far. You know, this is my first season with you in the booth, and you know, my first season period behind the microphone here. So it's definitely been fun. I've learned a lot, and you've taught me a lot. These drivers have taught me a lot. I don't know if it's necessarily translated from the driver's standpoint into anything that I can apply to iRacing, but I just appreciate being here. This has been fun, and shout out to all these drivers for putting on great races for us here week after week.
And a big move there by the 10 of Robert Duvendak. He's going to drop down from the outside lane now to lead the inside. Derek Conley right there pushing him. I mean, all over that rear bumper of the 10. Going down the back stretch, Hunter Reynolds now with a big push from the 7 of Josh Milam, side by side for your race lead. And there for a moment, it looked like Travis Elliott in that 51 machine, it looked like he looked to go 3 wide. There for just a brief moment, nobody went with him, so he tucked back down in line, 4th car on the outside row. And I'm telling you, it's brewing. Give it another 2 laps, and we're going to have 3 wide.
All right, I believe you. You are the veteran of this, but I just noticed that we are missing...
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you put that evil on me.
Don't you.
I just noticed, Dave, that we are missing the high side hustler of the OP Racing Series, Mark Vega, this evening. So I imagine some of these guys are kind of nervous because Mark's kind of known for that, to be that guy that runs that high line and makes it work.
Yeah, and now that you mention it, you're absolutely right. It looks like Mark Vega, the 18, not here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. We'll have to double check in, make sure everything's all right with that 18 crew and the driver of that 18 machine, Mark Vega. But yeah, now that you mention it, I haven't seen him up there on the high side all evening long. So yeah, interesting there for him not to be here. But looks like now Alex Green slowly looking to go 3 wide. Nobody really wanting to go with him just yet and push the envelope. Now losing a little bit of ground to the top 3 on the outside row. So I don't know. Maybe I was wrong here. Looks like this is going to be that second lap. If we don't get the 3 wide, they're going to prove me wrong for like the 1,009,100,000,000,000,000,000,000 time. They're going to continue to do it, too. It's nothing new. It's absolutely nothing new. Oh, there's 3 wide. It's 3 wide. It's 3 wide.
Thank you.
There you go. I knew these drivers would not let me down. Alex Green beginning to lead the charge of that 3rd lane. So, there it goes. They saved me. Looks like it may fizzle out for those drivers jumping out there already. Maybe a few of them having some spotters watching the race here. Maybe it told them, and they may have gave me a little bit of compliment there. Oh, Travis Elliott gonna pop out here with just 3 laps remaining.
I knew that was coming. He was getting pretty impatient where he was sitting. He was kind of working that car back and forth, looking for a hole.
But the question is, was it too early? Is anybody going to go with him? Looks like he's starting to get some help now. Only 3 drivers in that middle lane. The numbers are with the inside and outside rows. 4 drivers lined up outside that 3rd lane, that high lane. Starting to come to the front middle lane, losing a little bit of ground. Big punch of a big hole in the air there for the 21 of Holloway to make his way up to the back of, I believe that's Logan Helton right there, 3rd car in the middle. And yes, it is. So Holloway able to move up a handful of cars, a handful of positions right there with that big hole in the air being punched by this 3 wide battle now for the top spot. Hunter Reynolds, Robert Duvendak, Josh Milam, all right there running neck and neck. Travis Elliott leading that outside lane.
We might even see a 4 wide here, Dave, if things get crazy. Robert Duvendak gave a nice little shove to the 26 of Hunter Reynolds there, and he was looking for a way around that car. There it goes.
Ooh, here we come, coming back through the tri-oval. White flag gonna fly here for stage number 2. Final lap around. Who's gonna have what it takes to take the top spot here? 4 wide looking for a second. Ooh, contact between Elliott and Weber. Getting a little shaky there in that middle lane. Robert Duvendak leads that middle lane. Hunter Reynolds down there on the outside. Down there on the inside, I should say. Sorry about that. Big push by Josh Milam now. That's going to clear the 10. He drops to the bottom.
Josh Milam is probably one of the best in the league at shoving the car through the corner entry, allowing him. Ooh, big moment there.
Ooh, big push by Reynolds on Duvendak. Gets Duvendak sideways up the track, back in front of Milam. Milam pushing. Here comes Elliott, 3-4 wide at the line. Contact. Big wreck. Oh, my goodness. Big wreck as we come to the end of stage number 2. Oh my goodness, we had a big one at the beginning of stage number 2. Big one at the end here. We'll watch this one more time. Oh my goodness. A lot of drivers involved in this one. Elliott Weber looks like, oh my goodness, not sure who that was. I believe Holloway hard into the outside wall. Looks like David Overstreet may have had some contact in this one as well. Jimmy Reynolds, James Mayer also involved. So, as I said, a lot of drivers involved in this second big crash here. Oh, hard impact. Whew. That hurt me. James Mayer.
Yeah.
Whew.
It looks like the 10 of Robert Huvendak just kind of tried to make a block there, and that stacked everybody up.
Yeah, and it looks like right now it's showing that Hunter Reynolds is your race leader. Derek Conley, David Booth, Josh Milam, and Daniel Holloway will round out your top 5. And I believe that is still going to bring an end to stage number 2. Well, actually, we seen the run there to the end of stage number 2. And a big-time wreck there right after coming across the line to complete stage number 2. So we'll wait for official word to make sure everything's all sorted out. Let these drivers all come to pit road, do what they need to do. So we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Back at the track, still letting the officials sort out the end of that close stage end of stage number 2. But we'll go down there, catch a word or two with the driver that captured the win in stage number 1, and the driver that I believe may have captured the win of stage number 2. Let's see if we can't get in a word or two with the driver of that 26 machine, Hunter Reynolds. It's Dave in the booth. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Car's looking good, fresh and clean, wrapping this thing up at the front, man. Heck of a job. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know, we got stage 1 win, and then either first or second there in stage 2, and we're up front for this restart. So, not gonna say anything, but the car's feeling good, team's feeling hype, so.
All right there. Well, man, we'll let you go. I know it's the one to go, so before we do let you go, though, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of the car?
Yes, sir. All my teammates, everyone watching, all the league owners, and Turn 3 Racing Network, and just appreciate everyone that puts this thing on and watches it.
All right, Dan. Well, short and sweet and to the point. Driver of that 26 machine, Hunter Reynolds, believe he wrapped up both of the stages there. Still waiting the official confirmation on the winner of stage number 2. It was absolutely that close, probably a thousandth or less of a second separated first and second coming to the line there, Dan. So the race officials have their work cut out of them, cut out for them. I'll spit it out eventually. Have their work cut out for them to decide who was the actual winner there in stage number 2. But field double file behind the pace truck, getting ready to duck off. We'll go back green flag racing this time by when we take the green flag. Lap 45 here out of 94 scheduled in the official race distance. Dan, you're not going to tell me who you got. I'm going to tell you who I got. It's going to be one of these 29 drivers out here that's going to make it to the checkered flag. That's who I'm picking. Call me a cheater if you want. I don't care.
You picked one there a couple weeks ago, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one.
As the field hits the gas, green flag flies once again. Josh Milam with a good start. Great jump out there. Unfortunately, he's going to get away from his help. And the inside lane going to start moving now back to the front. Hunter Reynolds clears. Derek Conley right there behind him. Big push. He's going to clear as well. David Booth into 77 is going to clear now. Take that outside lane. Take the lead of that middle groove. Big time breakaway at the front of the field as Hunter Reynolds and Derek Conley have kind of stepped out and checked out. Aspen Belvin down there, third car inside lane. He's been held up just a little bit, not able to get to the back end of that 28 machine. David Booth continues to lead that outside lane. The 77 now beginning to get help from the 15 of Alex Green, as well as the 35 of Doug Rice. Doug Rice making his first appearance here, knocking on the door of the top 5. He's the third car outside lane. Looking back through the field, looking for some familiar names, and it looks like we've got some chase drivers that are back through the field, not willing to come up here and mess around just yet. But we've got, I believe, your top 4 drivers, all chase contenders. Hunter Reynolds, Derek Conley, Josh Milam, and Aspen Belvin. All chase contenders here in season number 5 in OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics. Now a 3-car breakaway at the front as the 7 of Josh Milam has joined that 2-car pack of Hunter Reynolds and Derek Conley halfway down the back stretch, still side by side behind them, 4 cars back. Aspen Belvin beginning to break away. Randall Cobb with a big push. Cody Ober now clears that 77 of David Booth, and that outside lane just not going anywhere right now. Kind of surprised to see this breakaway at the front of the field. Not used to seeing the cars kind of get away from the field right here. And I tell you what, while we've got a chance in a second, let's head down trackside for a little bit of the sights and sounds. We're going to mute the mic for just a brief second. Head down, give you some trackside sights and sounds with some of our turn threes. Turn it up. So what do you say, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to mute the mic and enjoy. Oh man, absolutely love it when we have the opportunity to head down trackside, mute the mics, give you some great camera shots and camera angles, get you some of the sights and sounds and feel of the car going around this beautiful super speedway track here at Talladega Super Speedway in Talladega, Alabama. We're riding with that 84 of Aspen Belvin just behind the 7 of Josh Milam. Derek Conley just in front of him. Hunter Reynolds continues to lead the field here as we cross the line, beginning lap 54 out of the 94 scheduled in the official race distance here in round number 1 in the round of 13 in season number 5 for the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series presented to you by 4X Graphics, the 84 of Aspen Belvin, trying to see if he can't, I don't want to necessarily say upset the field with a race win, but seeing if he can't, well, I don't want to say shock the world either, but seeing if he can't put that 84 back into victory lane. Cody Ober in the 8 machine right there as well. Ober, one of those familiar drivers when it comes to bonus points, so always there at the end of these stages when it counts. And now 3 wide early here in stage number 2. Cody Ober side by side with the 62 of Les Levy, and it looks like that's the 24 of Will Weber on that outside lane being pushed by the 10 of Robert Duveneck. Has the 15 of Alex Green just behind them. Ernie Williams right there on the bumper of that 24, the 10 just behind him, but nobody really challenging Hunter Reynolds as Derek Connolly continues to push from that second spot on the inside lane. Three now make it 4 cars able to clear on that inside lane. Cody Ober in the 8 machine, 5th car inside lane, trying to make his way around that 62 of Les Levy, not able to do it just yet. 3 wide still happening back through the middle part of the pack. Do want to take a little bit of time to do some house cleaning because it is going to be a pretty quick one. We started tonight's race with 29 drivers. We've still got 29 drivers running here tonight, and we've still got 29 drivers on the lead lap. 3 drivers a little bit off the pace right now, 16 seconds off of the lead lap. Dustin Barber, James Mayer right there, 27th and 28th, and then Jamie Jessup all alone here, and that is a bad feeling and a bad sight. Jessup's going to need a little bit of help here if he's going to want to have this race come to a better conclusion for him, because he is not in a good spot here, all alone at a track where speed and friends matter. Back at the front of the field, Ernie Williams in the 91 has taken control of the lead of that outside lane. Now it is beginning to move a little bit more as Will Weber has dropped to the middle lane, taking the lead of that middle lane. It backs up just a little bit. 3 cars still clear on that inside lane. Those top 3 drivers that broke away from the field a handful of laps ago still continuing to lead that inside lane. Connolly continuing to push. Reynolds content with the 2nd spot, as well as Milam and Belvin back in 3rd and 4th. 3 wide has now dwindled back down to just side-by-side race battles. Looks like pit stops may be looming as drivers beginning to get single file down there on the inside lane. There's still about 7 or 8 cars out there on that outside lane, but we've seen this familiar long train of cars before. Pit stops should be looming here very shortly. Most of these drivers hit pit road on lap 42, so they've been out there for right about the 17 lap or so mark. So all of these drivers getting very close on fuel. Green flag pit stops are going to be underway in the next 2 to 3 laps. Now getting some race communications confirming that. So look for a handful of cars to be coming down pit road here this time and next time by. long green flag run here to begin stage number 3, our final stage here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. And now with a big push, Robert Duvendak gonna shove that 24 all the way to the front and around the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. So put Will Weber at the front of the field, the 10 of Robert Duvendak right there in second. Hunter Reynolds now third. Just behind Reynolds is Conley. And looks like Duvendak, he's wanting to go to the front. He's pushing hard here. Now looking to the outside, gonna tuck back in lane, leaving a little bit of a window open there for the 26 of Reynolds. Maybe to poke his nose down in there. Gonna have to be careful of leaving that door open too much. And a lot of drivers. Looks like, oh my goodness, oh wow. This is gonna be nuts. Ton of drivers onto pit lane, and I don't know how they all made it. Oh my gosh. 29 drivers on the racetrack. 3 of them were not in that lead pack, so that would have made 26 drivers in the lead pack, and 24 of them onto pit road all at one time. We'll have to check to see if everybody got down to speed in time. Rick Sebrands, Sean Stevens gonna stay out. It looks like they're gonna be running mates for quite some time here for the rest of the evening, probably. In round number 1 here in the round of 13 for the OP Racing. Oh, and big checkup and lockup by the 4 of Rick Sebrands. That could come back to haunt him, as Hunter Reynolds was able to get off of pit road first. He reassumes that spot with the 7 of Josh Milam. Just behind him, Robert Duvendak and Aspen Belvin. Little 4-car breakaway here. Then you go back and you can get the 28 of Derek Conley, the 63 of Logan Helton, and the 24 of Will Weber.
Dave, if you thought that pit entry was cool, you should have been down here where I was. I kind of snuck away from you there for a little bit, made a trip down to pit road here to get a little closer to the action because I knew that was coming. Should have been down here where I was.
I don't know that I don't know. That was amazing.
Hands down, the best entry to pit road by an entire field I've ever seen on the iRacing platform.
I actually think that is the biggest number of drivers I've yet to see hit pit road at one time here in the OP Racing Super Speedway Series. I'd have to check with KR, our good buddy KR, about his car count on it, but that's probably going to take the cake. I'm pretty sure if somebody saves that clip, you know those moments on iRacing they put out on YouTube every now and again, that may have the potential, because that was 24 drivers at 200 miles an hour coming to pit road. And I tell you what, I'm going to go through timing and scoring right now, and it looks like nobody got a penalty.
What?
Not a single person got a penalty. Actually, looks like no. Rick Sebrands, even with that lockup late on pit road, able to avoid a pit road speeding penalty. So that just makes that one even more sweeter. My goodness, I don't know how they did it, but now the 10 of Robert Duvendak with a big push by Derek Conley. He's going to go up and try to battle for the race lead. Hunter Reynolds continues to have the front of the field with a great push by Milam. Milam's kind of been glued there, Dan, to the back of the 26 for quite some time. Interesting to see how long he's willing to push and how hot that engine really is.
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen a couple cars expire those engines throughout the regular season. Just being in that spot back there right behind that car. You can't get any clean air on that car and cool air on the front end of that splitter and up into that radiator. That can cause some major problems and catastrophic failure, as we saw Logan Helton do within the first couple of races this season.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got a little bit of spread out right now after the green flag pit cycle, but we do still have quite a few drivers somewhat grouped up here together. We've got two small little groups as Rick Seabrand's unfortunately going to go down one lap. Looking through timing and scoring, it didn't look like Seabrand's was given any pit road penalties. And looks like now, yes, there's the penalty right there. So Seabrand's unfortunately going to have a pit road speeding penalty, and that's why he will be the only car off of the lead lap now. Oh, actually joins the ranks of two other drivers, Daniel Harrington and Jamie Jessup, both one lap down as well.
Yeah, Rick fortunately will be the first car one lap down. So if a caution does come out, actually, timing and scoring just updated. It shows that Dan Harrington is the first car a lap down. So that kind of shakes things up for that 4 Yeti machine of Rick Seabrand's.
Yeah, the 4 gonna have to bank on a caution here. He's gonna need a little bit of help to turn his night around. One of your chase contenders not having the run in the night that he had hoped for so far at this point in time in the race. Lap 67 out of 94 in the books for the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series presented by 4X Graphics. We've seen the run there on the outside, Dan, by Robert Duvendak multiple times, but once he gets there, he's just not able to get around Hunter Reynolds and Josh Milam. It looks like that duo is going to be a force that's going to be reckoned with, and I'm not so sure that Aspen Belvin isn't quite a character that we're going to have to keep our eye on to maybe possibly throw it in there 3 wide. There you see when they're coming off of turn 2, there's a little bit of a gap in between those lines, and he may just shove the nose in there and force that outside lane to go up a little higher, and that will give him a little bit of a run for a brief moment. We'll have to wait and see how long he's willing to be patient and sit in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, he's probably going to have to be patient for quite a while. We're more than likely going to see one more round of green flag pit stops here unless a caution comes out. But he is definitely going to have to be a little patient. You don't want to make that move too early and leave yourself hung out to dry with no help for you on that outside lane. As it is right now, if he made that move, Dave, he would more than likely be okay with the 10 of Robert Duvendak and the 24 of Will Weber there on the first 2 cars on the outside lane. But if I was in his position, I would just kind of ride this thing out, see what happens. You're kind of above the cut line for a big caution flag accident here, so I'd be riding it out, see where pit stops kind of cycle out here after our second green flag set of pit stops, and then make my move a little later in the race and put myself in position to make a run at Hunter Reynolds here in that 26.
Yeah, and I mean, right now on screen, your top 10 drivers have got about a 7-second lead over Les Levy, Sean Stevens, and Jimmy Crow. That is a 3-car pack, as I already said, 7.3 seconds behind your race leader. We've got about 12 drivers here in this front pack. Rick Seabrand's as well as Dan Harrington, both right here in this pack. So a heavy battle, excuse me, heavy battle there for the race lead as well as for that lucky dog position. But I do want to go back a little bit further through the field to this pack. We've got side-by-side racing action back here. 14th, 15th, Randall Cobb, David Booth, Doug Rice, Ernie Williams all back here battling it out. The 53 of Dave Hunt sitting right there 19th. But if I weren't to tell you that, you'd imagine this little battle was for the race lead. They have been mixing it up, swapping positions back and forth, big runs out of each line. So nobody really giving up. There you see that front pack way off in the distance.
Yeah, they are pretty far up there. And I'm kind of watching from the cockpit view of Lieutenant Robert Duvendak here. And he falls back a little bit, maybe trying to save just whatever fuel he can. I know it's kind of early yet, but he falls back and then he picks it back up. Then he falls back and picks it back up. So I don't know if the side draft is getting a hold of him right now or if he's just trying to make a little bit of strategy work for himself.
Yeah, and I mean, the side draft works to a certain extent here on the iRacing platform. Still nowhere near the real life side of it, obviously, but I believe that may just be some throttle playing going on with the 10. Just trying to maybe see if he can get a run in time a drop to join that bottom lane, because they're all grouped up, they're all lined up. There's only 3 cars left out there on that outside lane, Dan. 23 laps to go, 22 when we cross the line this time by. So in the next 3 to 4 laps, you can look for Hunter Reynolds, Josh Milam, Aspen Belvin to maybe drop down to pit road for what may be their final pit stop here today.
Yeah, you're going to have kind of seeing that inside lane form up, just like you said, in preparation for a set of pit stops here. Ooh, big wiggle out of the 7 of Milam there in front of Aspen Belvin. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a little bump draft and got a little loose. But Duvendak with a strong run on the outside lane here. Yeah, he's going to try to tuck down in here and get in front of Hunter Reynolds, and maybe this next time by we might see some pit stops here, Dave. Maybe either one more lap. Caution is out. So now we're definitely going to see pit stops.
Oh, yeah, caution coming out here tonight. Let's see what happened. We'll take a look back here. Not really seeing what happened. Looks like David Booth was involved. This is that second pack. Oh, drivers getting loose, going around Les Levy, David Overstreet, David Booth, all involved. Jimmy Reynolds, Dave Hunt. Oh, my goodness. That is a tough one right there. Well, that's gonna change up a lot of things here for us, Dan. That's going to put these drivers in a little bit of an awkward situation. They're gonna have to guess whether or not they're gonna be good to go on fuel. It's 20 laps to go right now. Pit road gonna be opened up this time by drivers will have about 17 to 18 laps to go when we go back to green flag racing. So this may be another stretch, another fuel run finish for us here in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics.
Very well could be. And I was just kind of looking through some cars here, checking up on some drivers I hadn't mentioned in a while. And I don't know if you can confirm this for me or not, Dave, but it seems like our chase contenders on the very top of the windshield, where the windshield meets the roof, there have some red emblems on the top of their car there.
I believe. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I believe you're right about
sorry.
that. There we
Might
go
indicate
again.
whether they're in the chase or not. Sorry, we couldn't get that together there. That might
Yeah.
indicate whether they're in the chase or not. There's a couple drivers that maybe have not updated their paint schemes just yet, but for the most part, I think there's only 3 drivers missing that do not have that red where the windshield meets the roof just above the driver there on the windshield. That may end up being our chase contenders. Way to identify them a little easier for our spectators here at the Talladega Super Speedway and on the YouTube side of things. So caution flag pit stops here, Dave. We should have enough fuel to make it to the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be a stretch for a few of these drivers. Most of them will more than likely come back down pit road to top off just before we go back to green flag racing, just to try to ensure they got enough gas in the tank should we get a green-white checkered. But as you were saying, yeah, most of them do have that across the, I call it the rocker. I know that's not what it's called. I'm not a painter, so I don't know what the template calls it. But and also the splitter and some of the spoilers are also all red for your championship contenders, those drivers in the chase. As you said, a few drivers out there in the chase not having that on their cars, but that is a good way and an easy way for the race fans to follow along and see who is still in the championship hunt as we wind down the rounds here as The chase has just started here tonight in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented by 4X Graphics, season number 5 for the OP Racing Super Speedway drivers. So, been around for quite a while. 5 seasons is a big accomplishment here on iRacing. So, hats off to all the drivers and league admins that get all the job done when they need to, in the way that they have been able to. Do want to give them a big shout out. Thanks for bringing me along the way for the past 2 years. It's been an absolute pleasure. And man, the rest of this season is going to be a barn burner. And I think we're in for some fireworks still here to the end, Dan.
Yep. I will agree with you there. This is where a lot of these guys don't have any friends on this racetrack. You know, when we go green, we're going to have, probably right around 19 laps to go here. So 18 laps somewhere in there. I'm terrible at math tonight too, I guess. So I'll claim that one for myself. But these guys are going to be up on the wheel for sure. These guys are, like you said, this is the premier series. These guys have to race their way into this series. So that shows you the caliber of drivers that we have here, not only in this race, but in this entire league. We're missing, a handful of drivers here tonight that unfortunately couldn't make the call for this Talladega Super Speedway race tonight. And I love coming back here every Monday night and watching these guys, and I've had an opportunity to catch up with a couple of the guys off of track, and they're all guys that are just super, super awesome people, and they do a dang good job on the iRacing platform here, wheeling these cars in, up and down these tracks, in and out of these corners every single week.
Yeah, a lot of good drivers here, not just on the super speedway side of things. These drivers do have quite a reputation all throughout the iRacing platform. So each and every one of them have proven to be superstars in their own right. And, well, that's why they get to race with the big boys here on Monday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Man, Dan, pace truck lights are out. Field getting double file. Looks like Logan Helton down there on the apron, saving as much fuel as he can to try to get to the end of this thing. Yeah, fuel still on a few of these drivers' minds.
That back straightaway camera is one of the coolest cameras we have. You have a guy that made those for us, right, Dave?
Absolutely, Esteban. You can go down in the description right there. Check out the link. Click the link. Head on over there. Check out all the track cams, all the car cams. If there's any shots that you've liked out here tonight at all, head on over there to Esteban and find all the great cameras provided here to Turn 3 Racing Network. So big shout out to Esteban and all he does for us here behind the scenes at Turn 3 Racing Network, with all the great camera shots provided from Talladega Super Speedway. Chevy Silverado pace truck gonna duck off this time by your field. We'll get back under green flag racing. Your race leader Derek Connolly elects the inside lane, as will Weber just to his outside, making their way around the long tri-oval here at Talladega Super Speedway to the restart box, and green flag back in the air. Field gets going. Holloway all over Reynolds, and Holloway, a little bit of spin on the tires there, was all over Reynolds for a brief second. Then when he snatched it into third gear, looked like the car wiggled around a little bit, lost some ground as Reynolds and Conley step away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, this is the first time Conley's been out front a little bit, and there was some tire spinning going on there. So Conley's been either behind Hunter Reynolds or been behind someone else on that outside lane. So I'm sure he's pretty happy and pretty content being out front right now with the 26 Reynolds rat machine pushing him down the front straightaway and through the tri-oval here.
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with Reynolds pushing me too, as Reynolds has won both stages here tonight so far with just 16 laps remaining. A driver that's been at the front of the field all day, that's exactly who I want pushing me and getting me back up to the front. And Will Weber, man, he's got his hands full. Robert Duvendak and a familiar number 7 of Josh Milam, another great pusher all race along. Right there on that outside lane, third car outside lane. Will he stay with Duvendak and Weber, or will he try his own hand? Because he's got the 04 of Mark Mann as well as Ernie Williams. We've seen Williams go 3 wide already here tonight. Will he do it again?
I imagine if Ernie Williams gets the chance to take that 91 machine to the top side of this racetrack, he's going to, especially if he can get Will Weber. Those guys, yeah, like I said earlier, the only one we're really missing out of that group of 3 guys is Mark Dega. And if Will Weber goes to the top, I would imagine that you would see Ernie Williams try to follow him up there. And even Mark Mann at this point, if Mark goes to the top, Ernie's going to go with him.
Yeah, and what that latest caution had done for us, that'll let a few of these drivers make sure they got enough fuel to get to the end, and made some of them be able to build a little bit of a buffer for the first green-white checkered we're hearing. Oh, looks like big-time wiggle out of that 21 of Daniel Holloway. He gets mad loose coming off of turn number 4. All sorts of sideways down there on the apron. That's going to check up the front of the field, break up this lead pack. There is about 18 cars in this lead pack still vying for your race lead at the moment. That, oh my, that's going to spell trouble.
Yes, it will. Duvendak is going to get hung out to dry here. He's going to lose right around 6 spots there if he can't tuck in. 7 Josh Milan swings down to pick him up, leaving Ernie Williams to hang out there on the high side right by himself.
Yeah, but Ernie's got a familiar face right there behind him, the 51 of Travis Elliott. He's going to let Ernie slide in line. We've seen them two work together on that high side. Now look who's looking to go to that middle lane and lead the middle lane, the 63 of Logan Helton. He pokes his nose out there, takes over the middle lane. Now we've got that 3 wide starting to happen. Here comes Ernie Williams and Travis Elliott. Will they go to the outside or join that middle pack? Looks like Jimmy Crow trying to come to the aid of Logan Helton. Ernie Williams going to slot in just between those 2 drivers. But Will Weber shot out of a cannon on the outside lane, Dan. He's been able to almost drop clear of Connolly for a brief moment now, just side by side.
If Milan can hang with Will Weber here through the corners and through this trial, I imagine you'll see a pass for the lead coming out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway and into turn 3.
Trying to look through the timing and scoring and check in with all of our chase contenders right now, and it looks like the majority of them are right up here battling at the front of the field. Josh Milam, Robert Duvendak, Logan Helton right there, Hunter Reynolds, Derek Conley, David Booth, Mark Mann. I mean, the list goes on right there at the front. Daniel Holloway, after a big time save there, he's right here still mixing it up. Looking for a race win. Travis Elliott right here in this pack, as well as Aspen Belvin, the 84, just behind that 51 of Travis Elliott. So almost our entire chase grid right here at the front of the field with just 11 laps remaining.
Yeah, the only ones we're missing, David Booth is right up in there too. His 3rd car inside lane. Rick Seabrans is back a little way still, unfortunately, but we'll see how it shakes out when he can maybe get a check in with him and see where he's at here. He got his lap back at some point in time. I'm not sure when that happened, but he is scored in the 22nd position. And can't really tell, Dave. Can you see the gap back to Rick Seabrans? About 4 seconds, 5 seconds?
Yeah, the gap looks to be right about the 4.5 seconds or so. Now almost 5 seconds back to Seabrans. And he indeed is the only chase driver not here in this lead pack. And when I say in this lead pack, I mean you're the only one not in the chase here out of your top 10, if I'm reading this correctly, is Will Weber. I believe out of your top 10, him and Ernie Williams. Actually, Ernie sitting right there in the 10th spot. Only 2 drivers in the top 10 that are not chase contenders as we cross the line. 9 laps remaining. Will Weber fighting for a chance to steal the thunder away from these chase drivers. We'll wait and see if he can do it. Is everybody going to stay with him? What will Connolly and Reynolds do?
Rick Seabrans needs to catch a caution here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, may get it right here. Oh, big time moment. Not sure how those drivers saved all that. Oh, my goodness.
Not even sure what happened there. Oh, it looks like a little net code between the 16 of Jimmy Crow and I think that's the 52 of Randall Cobb.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Cars got a little bit, well, not a little bit. They got all sorts out of whack there in the corner. No caution. We stay green flag racing. 3 wide at the front of the field now. Logan Helton somehow has snuck his way from the bottom of the track all the way to the top. And he's got some familiar 3 wide runners behind him. Travis Elliott, Aspen Belvin right there to help. Will the kid be able to make the pass on the outside? Derek Conley now leads the middle. Hunter Reynolds down there tucked in, hugging his best friend, that double yellow line. David Booth just behind him. Now Connolly clears almost contact between that 24 and 63.
Just kind of looking back here in the back of the pack, checking in with the 8 of Cody Ober, the 62 of Les Levy. That contact earlier a couple laps ago allowed a few of these drivers to kind of group back up here. And if they could get tucked in line, they could, barring a caution flag, catch up to this lead pack. It's about the same amount of cars, maybe plus or minus 1 or 2 here. So, kind of hairy for old Rick Seabrans back there in the back.
Yeah, I just don't know. Those 6 seconds, that's an awful lot to make up in just 6 laps. That's asking an awful lot. Even though these drivers at the front are mixing it up pretty good, that's still a second a lap that you're having to make up at a super speedway. And as long as you're in a pack and they're in a pack, I'm just not sure you can make up that much time.
I'm hoping for a caution. That way we can get all these guys back together.
Well, I know Rick Seabrans would second that one. Driver of the 4 right now sitting just inside your top 15. As a matter of fact, sitting in that 15th spot as we speak. Derek Connolly continues to lead the race. Will Weber right there to his outside. Josh Milam, Hunter Reynolds, Ernie Williams, David Booth round out your top 6. Logan Helton right there, 7th position, 4th car outside lane. Aspen Belvin as well as Travis Elliott still trying to make a 3rd lane work. They've now picked up the 21 of Daniel Holloway as something may have happened to the 10 because Duvendak has fallen back quite a bit.
Caught a little bit on the scanner there. He said he just got a little bit tight and kind of let out a sigh of relief. So maybe that race car not handling as well as he would like it for these last few laps here.
And you know, I've been in these kind of situations before where you've worked hard all race long. It's getting down to the last handful of laps. You know you've got a good car. You know you've got a shot at the race win. And it's just a moment of, I don't want to necessarily say zen moment, but it's just a moment to, oh, here we go, 3-4 wide there breaking out. I was going to say just a moment to kind of get some peace for a second, relax, and just kind of, let it all out and say, all right, here we go. And, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, you definitely kind of have that just kind of sigh of just, well, throw your hands up, whatever, let the cookies crumble and fall where they may. It's just kind of the way it is. There's not a whole lot you can do if you're just kind of got an ill handling race car, or just can't keep pace with these guys, which you see in this pack breakaway from the 10 of Duvendak and the 4 of Mark Mann here just a little bit.
Yeah, if Duvendak and Mann aren't careful, they're going to lose this pack now. Wait a minute, not going to lose it at all. They had a big run there to the back of the 84 of Aspen Belvin. It's 3 wide, 4 rows deep at times here at Talladega Superspeedway. Now look at that, 3 wide, 4 rows deep for sure. And they're all pretty much our chase contenders coming across the stripe. Gonna see 2 laps to go here in the opening round of the driver blows their motor. Contact. Oh, no, caution. Caution flag finally being displayed. Oh my goodness, Robert Duvendak involved in this one. Not sure who blew the motor there. We'll see if we can't back it up a little. Not catching it. Not seeing who it was that blew their motor there. Dan, do you got an eye on that?
Yes, I do. I believe it was the 91 of Ernie Williams. Yep, it was the 91 of Ernie Williams, and just backed up that middle lane, and adios, boys.
And tough break for multiple drivers. Looks like the 10 of Robert Duvendak sustained some pretty good damage there. This driver at the front, Travis Elliott, man, that's not something he was wanting to see. He had made the run on that outside lane work and got himself right where he needed to be. And now he's going to have to be spot on for a late race restart. We will have our first attempt at a green-white checkered. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes down. Now looks like race officials going to do some shuffling around in the race order and put a few more drivers back in front of that 51 of Travis Elliott. But most of those drivers were involved in that incident. So Dan, Elliott still looking pretty.
Yeah, he's been solid all race long. He's just been right there. He kind of fell back a little bit about mid-race. And but he got into the chase last week, the first driver on points without a race win. So and that's a big confidence builder, as we heard from him last week. So he's feeling froggy, and he wants to be up on that wheel. We're going to see some guys come into pit road here, get a splash and go of fuel, and a green white checkered. I love it when it goes to these.
Yeah, I mean, race fans love it. I love it. You love it. I don't love it if I'm a driver.
Right.
But now I'm a fan and a spectator, so I like to see the extra added drama. So yeah, this is gonna give us just what we look for here in the final few laps. And oh my goodness, Dave Hunt looks like he's gonna stay out. Josh Milam, Hunter Reynolds going to come off of pit road. Travis Elliott losing a few spots on pit road back to 4th. So this is going to be an interesting little restart here.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. At the 53 of Dave Hunt, Dave's been solid as well. We can't count him out for a late season race win. He's been up toward the front late here several times in the last few weeks of the regular season. So Dave's got a chance here.
Yeah, Dave has been one of those drivers that throughout the season, I can recall at least 6 or 7 races where we've mentioned his name right here towards the end of these races, and just unfortunately luck not going his way. And as I heard it before, nobody can be that unlucky for that long. So it's just a matter of time before that 53 comes to victory lane. And tonight just may be the night. The cards have kind of fell right in his hand. I think he's going to be a little bit out of a disadvantage here coming to this restart, being in that first position. But we'll see. how it goes. And I tell you what, let's see. Let's see. Do we have a race channel for Dave Hunt? Do we have any comms down there on him? Let's see if we can't get a hold of the driver of that 53 machine. Let's see if we can't dial him up for a quick word before we go back green flag racing. Dave Hunt, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Dave.
Hey, bud, little bit of a strategy call here, staying out here for this green-white checkered attempt. Whose call, yours or the crew chief?
I'm just trying something here. I don't know if I'll have enough or not, but we'll see.
All right, well, rolling the dice, gambling, I guess risking it for the biscuit, so to speak.
Yep, so to speak. There you go.
All right, my man. Well, with the one to go coming out this time by, we won't keep you much longer. You want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of the car?
Oh, thanks to this league and all the fans and my family, everybody out there watching, you up there in the booth, and my sponsor, Emory Riddle, Aeronautical University.
All right, my man. Well, good luck. Elbows up. We'll see if we can't still talk to you at the end of this thing.
All right, sounds good.
All right, well, don't want to keep your race leader on the horn here too much. Coming to our first attempt at a green, white, checkered here from Talladega Super Speedway in the first round of the round of 13 here in the OP Racing Super Speedway Series. Presented to you by 4X Graphics. Sorry there, had a little issue and I couldn't speak. So Dave Hunt, Dan, what do you think, man? That's a big time gamble, and he pretty much confirmed. I mean, I had to try something, and I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you got nothing to lose. Get yourself a race win. You know, it's unfortunately not going to just magically pop you into the chase for the championship in this league. He only missed the championship by 2 spots on points, so you know, he's probably just looking for some redemption for that race team. You know, he probably knows he was solid all the way through the last half of the season here, and he's definitely got what it takes to win. And he said he's sponsored by a university on that car, so let's see if his call was the smart one here.
So what you're saying is he thinks he was snubbed, so he's going to rub it in their face by winning the first race of the chase?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
That's exactly what I heard you say. I mean, maybe not in those words, but that's exactly what you said. No, I'm just... Chevy Silverado pace truck down and away. Field comes around the tri-oval to take the... Oh, sorry, my nose itching, didn't want to sneeze. Sorry, I do apologize. Coming to take the green flag here for the official green-white checkered attempt. Our first attempt. Josh Milam gets a good start on the outside lane. He's got the 51 of Aspen Belvin. Of Travis Elliott right there with him. Aspen Belvin just behind Elliott. Look for those two drivers maybe to work together. Look for them to maybe tandem up and jump out to that third lane. Once they get wound up, Hunter Reynolds right there still pushing the 53. Everybody looking to go to the middle. Looks like it's getting blocked by everybody. Holloway going to go outside with help from the 10 of Duvendak. Field still side by side. Top 3 rows right now still side by side as the outside lane slowly starting to work for that 21.
Yeah, these the 51 machine and the 84 of Aspen Belvin are going to have to make a move here, and we might see it right here and hang Milan out to dry. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. They got to run on the outside, Dave, through the turn. Coming to the white flag. White flag's out, turn 1. Man.
Ooh, big push. Reynolds pushes so hard on Hunt. It spins Hunt out. Milam going to continue on. Cody Ober involved, as well as I believe that is Jamie Jessup involved. The 7 of Milam leading the race. Now big push by Belvin on the back end of Elliott, who's going to come across the stripe and take the checkered flag. Side-by-side action back through the beginning of the tri-oval. Who's going to take the top spot? Here they come to the line. Oh, Milam gonna cross the line first. The 7 of Josh Milam gonna put it in victory lane. Looks like Derek Connolly, Travis Elliott will round out your top 3. Logan Helton gonna walk away in 4th, and Aspen Belvin in 5th. Somewhat of a pretty calm finish there after a little bit of a moment. Calm finish after a little bit of a moment. That makes normal sense for what I say.
I got you. I picked up what you were putting down there. The only one of the drivers out of the top 10 that is not in the chase that just finished where they are was Will Weber, who finished in 6th. So that's crazy.
Really crazy finish there. So yeah, I mean, is what it is, and
poor Dave Hunt, man.
Man, yeah, what a big push, and that's all that was going on right there. Hunter Reynolds just really pushing that 53, trying to just get him around the track, and unfortunately pushed him a little too much on the wrong spot, and around that 53 went, and the rest is history from there. And as these drivers cool down and get ready for the post-race interviews, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things ready to go on our end. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with all your post-race interviews live here from Talladega Super Speedway. Back trackside as we go through the replay from the great finish here at Talladega Super Speedway. And I tell you what, while we watch this great replay, why don't we go see if we can't catch up with the driver finishing in the 3rd position here tonight. Let's see if we can't catch up, have a few words with the driver finishing in the third spot. Driver of that 51 machine, Travis Elliott. It's Dave and Dan in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, hi guys. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, man. How you doing? How you feeling after a great finish here tonight?
Would have loved to win, but can't really complain with the P3, especially being in the playoffs. Luckily, I pointed in last week, so hoping to keep that momentum up and getting a couple stage points. I think I got stage points in both stages, and getting a top 3 is definitely good. Me and Aspen are working really hard to try to do everything we can to, if we can't get wins, be clear on points to get to that finale.
Well, man, the season has been quite long. The chase pretty short here in season number 5 for you guys. So it's the same length that it normally is, but much shorter. You know what I'm saying? Condensed. How important is it to have solid, consistent finishes week in and week out? Is that what it's going to be? Is that what it's going to take, or do you think the race wins is going to be what gets drivers to the championship?
Obviously, getting race wins will be important, but there's a limited number of races, so that means a limited number of winners that move on each round. So definitely pointing yourself in will be more important to me, really, just because, especially going to that last cutoff race. There's only 2 races in that round, so there's only 2 winners that can move on realistically. But I think points will be the thing that will save us and kind of saved us all this season, since we went through this season without a win. So definitely points for sure.
Well, Travis, man, it's been a pleasure watching you all season long. A great race for you and that 51 crew out there. 3 wide at times, trying to make it work. Not the finish you necessarily would have wanted to walk away with, but nonetheless, a great finish walking away in third here tonight. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, shout-outs to you guys at Turn 3 for putting on some awesome broadcasts. I like going back and watching, and mainly watching the finishes because they're always so exciting around here in OP. Shout out to Aspen Belvin, my teammate. We're working really hard trying to get up here and doing what we do best, and that's lead races and try to win championships. Shout out to the FSR guys for that race at the end there. That was a lot of fun. Really reminded us a couple seasons back, but and to all the admins, that's pretty much it, guys.
All right, man. Well, a heck of a job tonight, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week at Daytona.
Yeah, plan on it.
All right, well, there you have it. Some few final words from the driver finishing in the third spot here tonight. That was Travis Elliott, and I believe that has given the postman, I believe that's given him time to catch up with the driver that had finished in second here today.
It has, Dave. I am down here with Derek Conley, driver of the 28 FSR Fuel Sim Racing Machine Ford Mustang. Podium finish for you, pal. Second place. Been solid all day. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty amped up after that race. I ain't gonna lie. That was probably the wildest. I just went out. I ain't gonna lie. For 99 laps, I've been watching a football game. I've not been paying attention to the race. So I just been out there having fun and doing a lot of stuff I don't normally do. Come home second. And actually just had a blast out there. I might just start watching Monday Night Football while I race every week.
Whatever works for you, man. I know your teammate was right there with you, and man, you were solid all race long. So going forward, having this second place finish, is consistency the key for you from here on out?
Absolutely. You can always say that you're going to go for wins and stage wins, and that's great and all, but they are extremely hard to come by in this league. We got a great, talented group of people in this league, so just consistency, getting top 10s and top 5s, stages and the end of the race, that's what it's all about. That's how you progress to the later rounds in the playoffs.
Absolutely, man. And we Travis Elliott just said something earlier in Dave's interview, limited number of races. So when you're in that race car, do you feel like you just need to stay where you're at, or do you feel like you just need to push to get 1 more, 2 more, 3 more positions when you're out there on the track?
it's all a game of chess. You can go out and make these wild moves, but if it's the wrong time to make them, it can come back to really bite you in the butt. So you just got to be aware of your surroundings and aware of actually where you are in the race, not necessarily on the track or in position, but where you are if it's go time or not. Once you know exactly when it's go time. We've all been doing this long enough. So I mean, if I'm in 15th, yeah, sometimes I could go push to try to get that top 10 or top 13. But if I look and it's a cluster up there, no, I'm going to hang back because, there's a good chance there could be a big wreck and I can pick off my spots that way instead of getting caught up in it and finishing like 20th.
Right on. It sounds like a viable strategy moving into next week at Daytona. We wish you the best of luck. Great drive today. Is there anybody on the side of that race car you'd like to thank before we let you get on out of here?
First off, I want to thank you all for coming in, week out broadcasting. The broadcast is great. I want to thank the fans for coming in, sticking with us throughout the entire season. I mean, y'all made it almost to the end of season 5. We're that close, that much closer at the end of this one. I want to thank Alex, Rob, and Cody for putting on the league. I mean, without them, none of us would be here together. I want to thank Josh, Hunter, Will, Ernie for being the best teammates out there on the track.
Right on, brother. Congratulations, kids. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
Thanks, guys. You have a good one.
You too. Dave, do you have our race winner?
Yeah, looks like we're finally going to be able to catch up with our race winner, the driver of the 7, Josh Milam, walking away with the race win here in the opening round of the round of 13 here in the chase for the OP Racing Super Speedway Series. Josh, how you feeling knowing the monkey's off your back and you're already headed to the round of 8?
Oh man, what about it, fellas? That was a good one. No, that's a lot of stress off the shoulders there. I can go into the next 2 races and just help my boys out and try to get them in the same position that I'm in. I'm into the round of 8. I'm ready to go.
And you just answered my next question. Was going to be at this point, knowing that you're already locked in, do you go after any type of bonus points, or do you just focus on getting some more of your teammates in just to have the numbers when you get to the round of 8?
Well, so my big focus is going to be on my other 2 guys that are in here. If they can't get any points, I'm going to try to steal one of those top 10 spots if I can. You won't always look up like I did and get that win, so they might be fighting for those points to get into that round of 8. So if I have the opportunity, I'm going to steal some points in these stages, steal a position at the end of the race, do everything I can to help those guys in, and just have fun, have a good time out there for the remainder of these 2 races.
Well, man, congratulations going out there and getting the job done early. As you already said, a lot of stress being lifted with that race win. Now going to focus in on the teammates. So very, very kind of you, I would say, to think of the rest of the team instead of yourself. So very selfless act right there. Josh, been a pleasure watching you all season long. Do you think you've got any more race wins in store for us heading out through the final? I believe we've got, 6 races left?
1, 2, 3, 5 maybe. 2, 4, yeah, I believe 5.
Well, I don't math too good, and I think that's from Conley, because he said he was watching football for 99 laps, and we ran 96. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, Conley don't math.
I don't math either.
That's why our pit stops don't work out sometimes. Well, no, I'm hoping I can get a win. Like I said, my last win this season, oh man, that was around week 5 or so, and that's 10 weeks later, and I finally got another win. I've been close, but like I said, it's super hard to get wins. It's a lot of luck and a lot of being at the right place at the right time. You can make all the right moves in the world, but it just doesn't happen for you. Like I said, I can have a solid race all race and then just not be there at the end. But we'll see if we can pull one out. Like I said, if I'm there to win it, my guys are definitely going to push me to take another chase win away. That way another chase driver doesn't get it with the win, and it's all a battle of points. So, I mean, it's going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be super hard race in the next 2 races, I'd say, because we're going to see what points look like here shortly. And these guys are going to know where they stand, and it's going to be pretty wild, I'd say.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on putting yourself where you needed to be at the end of tonight's race, walking away with the race win, slotting yourself into the round of 8 before we let you go and celebrate and enjoy the rest of your night. You want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, forget anybody to thank on the side of the car?
You guys, especially, I like to go back and watch you guys after each race. I do a great job. All the OP admins, everybody puts the race together. Alex, Cody, Rob, their guys are awesome. We've been doing it for 5 seasons now, almost 3 years, and hope we don't stop anytime soon. My guys race for FSR, Ernie, Hunter, Will, and Derek. Derek there for the huge push that kept me in it, and wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here for this victory. But I thank Travis and Aspen there. Travis had my back for a minute. There's some season 1, season 2 nostalgia we had going on there, racing alongside those guys. But I think that's about it. And plus, gotta throw for this paint job. I need to thank KR again. I like to thank him for this solid paint job he get me.
Well, if there's one thing he can do, it's paint the cars that he's usually wrecking. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you're not kidding, man. You're not kidding.
Well, Joss, once again, man, congratulations. Great job. We look forward to catching up with you next week at Daytona.
All right, fellas.
All right, there you have it. Some final words from your race winner, the 7 of Josh Milam, walking away after a little bit of a crazy finish here, coming to the checkered flag. Had to take one stab at a green-white checker to decide tonight's race winner, but Milam gonna put his 7 machine into the round of 8 here. So yeah, man, pretty solid there. Pretty solid run at the end for a lot of our drivers, Dan.
Yeah, 9 of your top 10 drivers are chase drivers. So obviously Josh Milam walking away with a race win. It's going to get even tighter as we move further into the chase here. We got two races left in this part of the chase before the round of 8. And man, you heard it from Josh Milam himself. He said it's going to be white knuckling for the next couple of races. It's going to get pretty crazy, and I'm looking forward to it personally.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to each and every week that these drivers get ready and geared up to hit the tracks, because it's always some great and exciting action when they hit the high banks. Next week, want to keep you race fans in mind as the producers are hitting the music buttons in the background, letting me know it's time to pick up the pace and run through some official business, but do want to keep all you race fans in tune with what's going on here in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics. Next week we head to Daytona, then back to Daytona Legacy, the old bumpy road Daytona. Then we will fire off the round of 8 back here at Talladega Super Speedway. With that being said, Dan, let's run through the final race results here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. Walking away with the race win, the 7 of Josh Milam. Just behind him, the 28 of Derek Connolly. Third place will be the 51 of Travis Elliott. Logan Helton gonna slot home in 4th. 5th place will go to Aspen Belvin. Daniel Holloway in 6th. 7th will be Robert Duvendak. Mark Mann gonna finish in 8th. Cody Ober 9th. Rounding out your top 10, the 27 of Sean Stevens.
Probably not the finish he was looking for, but just missing the top 10 and 11th position of the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Just behind him, the 6 of Dustin Barber in 12th. 15th position, the 52 of Randall Cobb. 14th, the 62 of Les Levy. 15th, the 95 of James Meyer. 16th, the 4 of Rick Seabrans. 17th, the 35 of Doug Rice. 18th, the 50 of Sean McCarrick. 19th, the 47 of Andrew Schroeder. And rounding out your top 20 for tonight, 17 of Jimmy Reynolds.
Will Weber gonna bring the 24 machine home in the 21st spot. Dave Hunt gonna finish in 22nd. David Booth in the 77 machine gonna finish last car on the lead lap. while the 82 of Daniel Harrington will be scored. The first car off of the lead lap in the 24th position. 25th will go to Jamie Jessup. Ernie Williams in the 91. Some late race contact put him out of the race. He'll finish in 26th. 27th to Jimmy Crow. Alex Green in 28th. And rounding out the field in 29th here tonight, the 02 of David Overstreet. Another great one in the books here for the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics. Man, it's been a pleasure. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or my good buddy, the postman, Dan, right here beside me, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, we do appreciate each and every time you join us. And, well, until next time, my friends, stay safe, stay loved. We'll see you back trackside.